The betrayal. The glass towers of Nexus Prime Ambassador Elena Vasquez stood before the towering crystal spires of the Galactic Senate building, her reflection multiplying infinitely in the prismatic walls. At 34, she was the youngest ambassador humanity had ever sent to represent them among the stars. The morning light of 3 different suns painted the sky in colors that Earth had no names for. Yet Elena felt perfectly at home here after 2 years of service. The Galactic Senate represented 47 different species across the known galaxy. The building itself was a marvel of cooperative engineering, with sections designed to accommodate beings who breathed methane, creatures who lived in water, and entities made of pure energy. Humanity had only been members for 7 years, barely a heartbeat in the 1,000-year history of the Senate. The proposal that changed everything. Elena adjusted her neural translator as she entered the Grand Assembly. Today was the day she would present humanity's most ambitious proposal yet. The Resource Equity Act would fundamentally change how the galaxy distributed its wealth. Currently, the elder races controlled 90% of all mining operations, trade routes, and technology patents. Younger species like humanity were forced to accept whatever scraps were offered. The assembly hall could hold 10,000 beings, but today only the senior council of 12 elder races were present. The Corvani, with their crystalline bodies that sang when they moved. The Thrakar, whose 6 arms could manipulate reality at the quantum level. The Etherians, who existed partially in another dimension. These were the true power brokers of the galaxy. Honored Council, Elena began, her voice steady despite the weight of their ancient gazes upon her. I come before you with a vision of a better tomorrow. The Resource Equity Act proposes that all member species, regardless of their age or technological advancement, should have equal access to the galaxy's bounty. The weight of ancient Pride High Chancellor Zekthar of the Corvani rose from his seat, his body chiming with displeasure. The sound was like breaking glass mixed with funeral bells. Ambassador Vasquez, you speak of equality as if it were a virtue. The elder races have shepherded this galaxy for millennia. We have earned our position through sacrifice and wisdom. Elena had expected this response. She activated her holographic display showing economic data from the past century. With respect, Chancellor, the numbers tell a different story. Since the current system was established, 17 younger species have gone extinct due to resource scarcity. Meanwhile, the elder races have grown so wealthy that you literally build planets for recreation. Sub-Chancellor Mortek of the Thrakar manipulated the air itself to form words that appeared as burning script. Careful, young human. You border on insult. I speak only truth, Elena responded, not backing down. Humans have a saying, a rising tide lifts all boats. When we share prosperity, everyone benefits. When we hoard it, eventually even the hoarders suffer as their trading partners collapse. Dangerous ideas. The debate continued for 3 hours. Elena presented case studies from Earth's history, showing how cooperation had led to humanity's greatest achievements. She talked about the International Space Station, the cure for cancer that came from shared research, and the global effort that had finally reversed climate change. What she didn't know was that her words were having an effect she hadn't intended. In the shadowed alcoves of the assembly hall, several elder races were having silent conversations through quantum entanglement communicators. The human speaks dangerous ideas, transmitted Zekthar to his fellow conspirators. If the younger races unite behind this philosophy, our control ends. She has already convinced the Altarians and the Proxima Federation, responded Mortek. 3 more species have requested copies of her proposal. High Executor Vexala of the Etherians materialized partially into their dimension. Then we must act before this infection spreads. The human must be silenced. An accident? Suggested Zekthar. Something that will serve as a warning to others who might share her ambitions. Vexala agreed. The last day, 3 days after her presentation, Elena was invited to tour the Senate's primary fusion reactor. It was considered a great honor, as the reactor powered not just the Senate building but the entire orbital platform where Nexus Prime was located. The technology was beyond anything humanity had developed, a gift from the elder races that reminded everyone who truly held power. Elena's guide was a junior technician from the Corvani named Silvar. Unknown to Elena, Silvar had been chosen specifically because he was young, inexperienced, and would make a perfect scapegoat for what was about to happen. As they walked through the reactor chamber, Elena marveled at the contained star that burned at its heart. "It's beautiful," she said, her face glowing in the blue-white light. "Yes," Silvar responded nervously. He had been told there would be a malfunction, that he should evacuate immediately when the alarm sounded, and that the human's slower reflexes would seal her fate. He hadn't been told that the malfunction would be real, not simulated. The elder races never trusted loose ends. The final message. The alarm started as a low hum, then escalated to a shrieking wail. Silvar ran immediately, his crystalline form moving at speeds Elena couldn't match. She tried to follow, but the emergency bulkhead slammed shut, trapping her in the reactor chamber. Elena understood immediately what was happening. The radiation levels were climbing rapidly. She had perhaps 3 minutes before her organs began shutting down. She pulled out her quantum communicator, a device that could send messages instantly across any distance. She didn't waste time with goodbyes or pleas for help. Instead, she activated the communicator's recording function and aimed it at the reactor's control panel. The sabotage was obvious if you knew what to look for. Safety protocols had been deliberately disabled. Emergency overrides had been locked out. This was murder, not malfunction. "Earth Command, this is Ambassador Elena Vasquez," she said calmly, even as her skin began to burn. "I am transmitting evidence of deliberate sabotage of the Senate fusion reactor. The elder races have murdered me to silence our call for equality. But ideas cannot be killed so easily. Remember me not with vengeance but with justice. Remember that we are better than they think we are. Remember that." The transmission cut off as Elena collapsed. The reactor continued its meltdown for another 17 seconds before emergency systems finally activated. By then it was far too late. Earth receives the news. Admiral Marcus Chen was reviewing supply manifests when Elena's final transmission reached Earth Space Command. The quantum communicator delivered the message instantly, along with biometric data confirming Elena's death 14 hours ago. The Admiral watched the video 3 times, his face becoming stonier with each viewing. He called an emergency meeting of the Joint Chiefs. Within an hour, every major military leader on Earth was connected via secure channels. "They killed her," Marcus said simply. "Elena Vasquez is dead, murdered by the Galactic Senate because she dared to suggest that humans deserved equality." General Sarah Mitchell of the Orbital Defense Forces clenched her jaw. "What's our response?" "We show them that humanity's greatest strength has never been our technology or our resources," Marcus replied. "It's our ability to prepare for the worst while hoping for the best." He entered a code that only 5 people on Earth knew existed. Around the globe, hidden displays lit up in secret facilities. Operation Hidden Tide is now active. For 20 years, we've been building in secret, preparing for the day when the galaxy would show its true face. The secret revealed, while humanity had openly built 12 starships to join the Galactic Senate's peaceful federation, they had secretly constructed something else entirely, in the dark spaces between star systems, in the void where no one thought to look. Earth had assembled the most powerful fleet in human history. 300 vessels, each one incorporating technology that humanity had developed in secret. While pretending to struggle with basic faster-than-light travel, human scientists had actually cracked the code for quantum phase drives. While appearing to barely understand energy weapons, they had developed particle cannons that could crack moons. "The Senate thinks we're children playing with toys," Admiral Chen said to his assembled commanders. "They're about to learn that humans didn't survive on a death world for 300,000 years by being weak. We survived by being smart, by being prepared, and by protecting our own." "What are your orders, Admiral?" asked Captain Foster from the hidden shipyard at Pluto. Marcus Chen looked at Elena's picture on his display. She had been his daughter's best friend at the academy. His daughter, who was now serving on one of the hidden warships. "We're going to Nexus Prime," he said. "All ships. It's time the galaxy learned what happens when you murder humanity's children." And in the vast darkness between stars, Earth's fleet stood watch, a silent guardian ensuring that never again would the powerful prey upon the peaceful without consequence. For humanity had learned long ago on a dangerous world full of predators, that the best way to maintain peace was to be so strong that none would dare break it. Retry, and in the vast darkness between stars, Earth's fleet stood watch, a silent guardian ensuring that never again would the powerful prey upon the peaceful without consequence. For humanity had learned long ago on a dangerous world full of predators that the best way to maintain peace was to be so strong that none would dare break it. Retry.